Hey guys, it's been 11 days since I last posted. Sorry about that. It wasn't much of a choice, given the options of continuing the transcription or living a long and full life. But last night I posted, I decided I wanted to live. Some of you apparently thought I was dead, and I honestly don't blame you. I wasn't sure myself for a while, and I had a couple close calls. But I've resolved to finish this. I don't care anymore. That goddamn ghost can rip my heart out of my chest if it wants, but I need to share this story. I took notes of everything happening, as well as the final tape transcription, during the time I wasn't posting. It wasn't safe to post them yet, but at this point I think I'm in the clear. Right now, it has bigger things to worry about. Here's where my notes start, beginning the night of the last post. Night 1. What the hell? I'm home now. Have been for a few hours, and it's still there. I thought it would leave me alone, but I guess that was naive of me. It's around 11:30 right now, and I'm in bed. I know it's there in the shadow of my dresser, by the closet. I'm doing my best to ignore it. Maybe that will help, I don't know. My hands are shaking and I feel like I'm about to cry. I've got the box next to me, and I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight. Hopefully I'll wake up again. If I don't, I just hope it'll be painless. Night 2. I was wrong. Oh God, I was so wrong. I finally got to sleep a little bit before midnight, holding the box again and praying. Literally praying. I was raised Catholic and then Christian, but I haven't prayed or gone to church in a while. That's changing today. The second I fell asleep, I was awake, if that makes sense. It was like a lucid dream. I was fully aware. I was in what was obviously a pizzeria. I didn't recognize the interior, but the layout was similar enough to an average Chuck E. Cheese, so I knew immediately. I think I really knew, though, because of the animatronic band playing in the back. I could hear their music echoing towards me, like the room was bigger than it was. The restaurant was completely empty, except in the back, next to the stage, a glint of plastic eyes in the light that made my heart drop. He saw me. I tried to back away. I don't know what came over me, but all of a sudden I was moving forward, towards him. Each footstep echoed against the tile, and as I got closer and closer, the quieter everything became. The music, the bells and whistles, ringing from the arcade. It all faded as I stepped, trembling, further towards my demise. Soon I was face to face with it. Its eyes weren't dead like a costume's should be. They were bright and wide and shiny, and very, very angry. I was so small, but I felt like curling up into an even smaller ball and sobbing. I barely came up to its waist, but he couldn't have been more than 5'9". My eyes burned and my lips shook, blood pulsing painfully through my arms. As he looked over me, latex mouth curling into a grin. His hand plopped itself onto my shoulder. His grip shook me to my core, and I felt like if I made any movement, my arm would be ripped from its socket.
Hello?
A man's voice rumbled from within the costume. I wanted to scream, cry, do anything, but I couldn't move.
You haven't been very nice, Craig, ignoring me.
The thing knew my name. Why did it know my name?
It's very bad to make up stories about people. Someone could get hurt.
And with that, he led me into a room. I must have snapped out of whatever trance I'd been in, because the second I saw the employees only door, I began to writhe in his grip, twisting and shouting like I was being murdered. I was. I can't talk about what happened in that room. I just can't bring myself to do it. But in there is where I spent what felt like an eternity of pain and torture. I saw the body of a little girl with the cutest curls you've ever seen. Poor, poor little Jenny. She was sat up in a chair like she was watching. But there was nothing behind her eyes. Behind her, laid out haphazardly on the floor, were the bodies of 2 young men covered in cuts and bruises. I woke up this morning sobbing, with open cuts all over my body. I barely even paid mind to the costume standing by the foot of my bed. Immediately, I launched up and ran towards my bathroom, knocking over who knows what in order to grab rubbing alcohol and ointment. I didn't bother closing or locking the door. If sleep couldn't hold it back, what could? Luckily, I had clutched the box so tightly that it made the journey to the bathroom with me. I sat it in my lap as I treated my wounds, heart pounding and body heavy, as it watched me from the doorway. I didn't say anything, but its message was clear. That same day, I called Mr. Carlson, asking for the day off, and locked the tapes in my cupboard. I wouldn't post anything else about it, I decided. Like I said earlier, it's been 11 days, maybe 12. From there, I tried to live my life as normally as I could, with a costume ghost following me. It didn't work out very well. I no longer made an effort to pretend it wasn't there. Obviously, my plan to ignore it had only angered it. Usually, it only appeared in my peripheral vision, but every night as I took out the box and looked at it, it would stare at me from only a few feet away. I didn't eat or sleep much. I mostly laid in bed, sometimes staring at the wall, sometimes crying. The nightmares continued. I didn't get much of my schoolwork done, and I didn't show up to classes at all. But every night something would push me to the tapes. Every time I looked at them, there were more dusty handprints of varying sizes. I began to wake up clutching my tape recorder. The box, a specific tape, when I knew I had locked them up the night before, and the thing would always be glaring, but not at me. And in the corner of my eye, something would flicker. At first I tried to resist the urge to listen, but after about 5 days, I decided that as long as I didn't share the information, I'd be relatively safe. When I got the box, there were 7 tapes. All of them were unlabeled. But so far, I've found that only 3 of them have anything to do with this. They just got tossed into someone's box of junk. The rest are empty. The final tape was rather short, but went as follows. He's getting closer. He keeps getting closer, and he's watching me at work. I can't stand it. Randy, my manager, hasn't shown up to work in 3 days. The assistant manager has been in charge. The last anyone heard of him was a note he'd left in the office. All it said was, "I'm going to try and find her." Every day I clock in, I hope that he'll be there. But I know he's dead. God, he's dead, and it's my fault. I should have saved her. He knows it's my fault, too. It's why he's watching me so closely. I think he knows about the tapes. I think I might be next. I can't let the 2 of them die in vain. Randy and Jenny died because that disgusting creep. My coworkers have told me they've been hearing screaming and crying by the stage. Some have had nightmares, and some have gotten weird cuts on their bodies. He's trying to punish us for what he did to himself. My name is Jackson. I'm 24 years old. I have to stop him. I can't let anyone else die, except me. If I don't make it back alive, I hope someone will find this. People need to know what did. I'm going in tonight, July 10th, 1985. I'm not going to put that freak's name in the transcription. He doesn't deserve to be remembered. Right now I'm in my car, driving to St. Louis. It's a few hours away, but I started early this morning. I've stopped at a gas station to grab some supplies. I'll be there in 30 minutes. I couldn't find the location online, but I know where it is. I have to find them. It's been watching me from the sidewalk. It has no shadow, and as I look into its eyes, I can feel its anger burning through me. My scars burn under its scrutiny. But I don't care anymore. I will not be the 4th.